Hello friends, in this session I will discuss about different mechanisms used in network communication. TCP/IP is a family of communication protocol used to connect computer systems in a network. HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is a member of TCP/IP. Computer systems in a network communicate each other using HTTP mechanism. There are other mechanisms such as WebSockets, pooling, webhooks, server-sent events. Here I will discuss HTTP, WebSockets and pooling mechanism. Now come to the features of HTTP. HTTP protocol is unidirectional protocol. In HTTP, the request is always initiated by client and the response is processed by the server, thus making HTTP a unidirectional protocol. HTTP is half duplex. Either client or server can communicate at a time. Both entities cannot communicate simultaneously. Latency issue arises with HTTP request response based methods. Auto recovery of terminated connections. HTTP automatically recovers when connections are terminated. Simple RESTful applications uses HTTP protocol which is stateless. REST API are basically using HTTP as underlying protocol for communication. We can create the connection by using HTTP request methods. After getting response, HTTP connection get closed. HTTP based techniques are more resource intensive on the server, since headers are sent every time in order to get more information from the server. This is why HTTP based techniques are more resource intensive. Now come to the functioning of HTTP. In HTTP, client sends request 1 to the server and server will process request 1 and send response to the client. Similarly, when client sends request 2, server processes it and send response 2. In this way, HTTP client server communicate each other. WebSockets allow both server and client to push messages at the same time. WebSockets are bidirectional protocol. Either client or server can send message to each other. Full duplex communication. Client server can talk to each other independently at the same time. The WebSocket protocol is stateful and allows us to implement public subscription messaging pattern. WebSockets are single TCP connections. Client and server communicate over the same TCP connection throughout the life cycle of WebSocket connection. Event-driven protocol. WebSockets is an event-driven protocol. Any update on server are sent immediately to the client when they are available. Real-time web application. Real-time web application uses a WebSocket to show the data at the client end. Headers are not sent every time we need to get more information from the server. WebSockets have an extremely lightweight footprint on server. They are not so much resource intensive. The connection is kept alive until terminated by either client or server. Few disadvantages of WebSockets are auto recovery of terminated connection is not possible. Older browsers before 2011 are not supporting WebSockets connections. Now come to the functioning of WebSocket. In WebSocket, either client or server may establish connection, and either client or server can use the same connection to communicate each other. Both can communicate simultaneously. Any of the two entities, either client or server, may close the connection. In this way, client and server communicate each other on WebSocket. Now come to the use cases of WebSockets. WebSockets are used in online trading websites. In trading websites, for displaying the price fluctuations is continuously pushed by the server to the client by using the WebSocket channel. Gaming application. In a gaming application, data is continuously received by the server and without refreshing the UI. Chat application. Chat application use WebSocket to establish connection only once in order to exchange messages, publishing and broadcasting of messages among the subscribers. It reuses the same WebSocket connection for sending and receiving of the messages. Now come to the pooling mechanism. In pooling, the client repeatedly sends requests to the server for data. The client makes a request and wait for the server to respond to the data. If no data is available, an empty response is returned. There is two types of pooling. One is basic pooling and other is long pooling. Basic pooling is also known as AJAX pooling. The client requests the server in the same way and the server responds immediately with data or without data. In long pooling, the client requests the server, and the exception is that the server may not respond immediately. Instead of sending an empty response, the server holds the request and waits until some data is available. Once the data is available, a complete response is sent to the client by the server. XML HTTP request is the backbone of long pooling. There are some drawbacks of pooling. Long pooling is resource intensive on the server. Reliable message ordering can be an issue with the long pooling. No inbuilt guarantee that duplicate data would not be sent more than once. These are few drawbacks of pooling. Now come to the functioning of pooling. Clients continuously send requests to the server, and server may respond immediately with data or without data. This is how pooling works. This is all about HTTP mechanism, WebSocket and pooling mechanism. Thank you so much. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.